So I recently saw a post in a Facebook photography group specifically for Canadian photographers. And it was a question about what do people charge for headshots? I get the intention. I think the person asking the question was looking for an idea as to like what headshots go for and what maybe they should be charging. This is definitely the wrong way to go about figuring out how to price your services. But the thing that really shocked me, 90%, maybe 95% of the responses, people were saying that they charge $150 to $200 for a headshot session. And the reality is you cannot make a living shooting headshot sessions for $150, $200. $150, $200 barely covers the cost of a studio rental in Toronto. If you price your photography wrong, not only could you be losing money, but you could put yourself into a position where you're not even making enough money to keep your business running. What's up, everybody? It's KPR. So last week's video did really well. It's my best performing video, but it's not the video I intended on making last week. This one is. And this is a video about how to price your headshots. And it came out of a discussion I had with my friend Alex about pricing headshots for group photography. So when you're pricing your photography, you have to price in such a way that covers your costs, but also allows you to keep moving forward as a business. So that's what I'm gonna cover today, but I'm also gonna cover 3 different ways to price group headshots. So stick around for that as well. So when we talk about headshots are a commodity. Headshots are something that people need, not necessarily something people want. People don't go looking for a photographer because they think, you know what? I would love some headshots of myself just for my personal use. They don't. For headshots tend to be for very specific marketing purposes. If you're an actor, they're to market yourself as an actor on websites such as Casting Workbook, IMDb Pro, the casting websites that are used in the different countries around the world. For businesses, they tend to put them on their business cards or they have them on their website so you can see, hey, here's our team, here's what we do, and you want to and need to be able to, as a photographer, match their brand style. So when you're pricing your headshots, you have to cover the expenses of the shoot, such as studio rentals, makeup artists, travel, parking, permits, even location permits. If you have any gear rentals that you've done for that specific shoot, whether that's cameras, lenses, or lighting, cover the expenses for the shoot. Then you also have to cover your ongoing business expenses, such as your rent, if you have a studio, your camera, your lighting equipment, your lenses, insurance, business taxes, if you're incorporated or an LLC. And if you're not incorporated or an LLC and are a sole proprietor, then you'll have to cover your personal taxes. You have to cover your taxes. You then also need to cover your living expenses, your rent and your mortgage, your utilities, your automobile expenses, such as gas, insurance, repairs, maintenance. You're a person who deserves to be entertained and have a normal life like everyone else. You deserve to be able to do those things. And then also putting money away for your personal savings, whether that's in a TFSA or an RSP or anything else for your personal retirement. And beyond that, then your business should be making a profit. And this is where you have some flexibility in your pricing. Everything prior to this, those are expenses that you have to cover. You do not have a choice. You have to cover your shoot expenses. You have to cover your business expenses. You have to cover your personal living expenses. Those things need to be covered in the price of your sessions, but never go lower than your costs. That's just insanity. You might want to take some of that profit and reinvest it back into your business or put it away for capital expenses later on. Now, the way to figure this out is you need to take all your expenses. It's easy to figure out your rent, your mortgage, your studio payments, your utilities, your monthly expenses. Those are very easy to figure out. Get an average of that. What does that cost? Put them all in a spreadsheet, figure that amount out. But then you also have to take a look at what does your camera cost? My camera that I'm talking into right now is a Canon R6. Cost me after taxes $4,000. So I then need to figure out how many shoots am I doing a year. This camera, I expect it to last me about 5 years before I need to replace it. Let's say I'm doing 40 shoots a year. Over 5 years, that's 200 shoots. Every time I use this camera, that's going to be $20. It's going to cost me $20 to use just the camera, not the lenses, not my lighting equipment. Doesn't cover any other expenses. So if you use a camera that's only half as much as this, if your camera is a $2,000 camera, amortized over 5 years, 20 shoots a year, that's that's still only $10. That's the difference between a $2,000 camera and a $4,000 camera amortized over all of your shoots over a 5-year period is $10 per shoot. That's it. Less expensive equipment isn't going to decrease your costs significantly when you amortize them over the lifespan of the camera. Now, I say this because a lot of photographers who are just starting out, they think, well, I don't have very expensive gear, so I probably shouldn't be charging as much. It's such an insignificant amount that it should not be a significant factor. Once you add all your other expenses together and get that final number, then you will see that this is the number that you need to make per shoot. So let's take all your expenses for the year. Assume you're going to do 40 shoots a year. Here are your expenses for a month, multiply that by 12. You have your expenses for the year, divide that by 40. Then you have your costs, your expenses per shoot. That's what you need to baseline charge to break even. If you have not done this before, I guarantee you that number is going to be significantly higher than you previously expected. The final considerations for setting your price when you're pricing for an individual headshot session: what are you worth? What is your experience? What is your value? What do you bring to the table? I know what I bring to the table as a photographer. You need to as well. And then also market considerations. Are you going to price yourself competitively as a luxury or as a bargain? My price is just a little bit higher than the average price in the market, mostly because when I'm shooting in Toronto, I then have to rent a studio and I have to cover that cost. That's a shoot expense that I need to cover every single time I do a shoot. But before I continue on, I want to take just a quick moment to say, please click the like button. The like button, it really, really helps me out. I would love it if you subscribe, but the very least that I could ask is if you find value in these videos, please click that like button. So let's look at pricing group headshots. And that's when you have a group of people call you up. Maybe it's, hey, we need to photograph our entire team. We need headshots for the 25 people in our office, or we're having an annual get together with all our staff and we want to do headshots for everyone. How do you price that? So the first thing you need to figure out are, what are the factors involved? What are your client needs? Where's the location going to be? How many people are going to be photographed? How much time do you have to allocate per person? Now, the first way that you can price headshots is just a simple per head rate. If you have 5 people and you want to say, okay, 5 people is $400 per person, 10 people is $300 per person, or 20 people is $200 per person. It's a very simple multiplier. You have 14 people, that's $300 per person, so that's going to be a $4,200 shoot. The problem with this method is that it can create gaps in your pricing. For example, if your group rate for 5 people is $400 per person, then that's a $2,000 shoot. But if your group rate then is also $300 for 6 people, then that's an $1,800 shoot. So you will actually be doing more work for less money. And the other pitfall for this is that you may have higher rates for fewer people. So let's say you have 2 to 5 people is $400, 6 to 10 people is $300. But you have a client that says, okay, we have 6 people coming at $300, and then approaching the shoot, they say, oh, actually, someone took a new job. They then assume that your rate for 5 people is $300 per person. And to tell them, no, my rate for 5 people is $400 per person. So with someone leaving, your shoot is actually going to cost you more money, just doesn't fly. I made this exact mistake once. Never make it again. It's okay to make mistakes when you're building your business, but you have to recognize, okay, I did something wrong and now I need to correct it. So the next method that you can do is you can apply a day rate plus a per head rate. So you can say, okay, my day rate for shooting groups is $1,000 base rate. If you have a 5-person shoot, then your day rate is $1,000 plus $200 per person at $500. But then if you add a 6th person, it's just an extra $200. Your price doesn't go down, it always goes up. The final way in which you can do this, and this is the way I do it, it's more complicated than anything else, but I feel good about it and it's very easy for me to calculate. And that is, I use a stock brokerage formula called the layman's scale. And so when I price headshots, my base rate for a single person is $500. The next 4 people are $350 each. And then after that, the next tier, 6 and beyond, are $200 a piece. So for a group of 5 people, that's going to be a $1,900 shoot because you have one person at $500, then you have 4 people at $350. So that's 7, $1,400 plus 5 is $1,900. Each person after 5 is $200 per person. That's how I price things out. It's very similar to having a day rate than a per head rate, but what it allows me to do is say that like, as they continue to add more people, I can continue to bring the price down for people beyond a specific number. And that's just the way I like to do it. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I don't want to know what you charge for headshots, but please tell me the methodology that you use and the logic that you use. I'm always open to new ways to think about pricing my photography and running my photography business. In the meantime, there's a lot of great content on this channel, so please click this link right here and continue watching, and I hope I can continue helping. Thanks a lot.